Welcome, everyone, to your December 2022 forecast. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive podcast. Before we get into the forecast, this, of course, is a general reading. For a personal reading or for a coaching session, go ahead and book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. Forecasts for each life path number for 2023 are up now. Be sure to check yours out if you haven't already, as we move from this 6-year into the vibration of a 7-year for 2023. Lots of interesting stuff coming up. This, of course, is a great time to order, if you haven't already, to order your personal year ahead forecast for 2023. I have those on my website available, so head on over there and get yours today. Okay, so as always, first I'm going to take a look at the universal cycle for the month of December, and then we will break it down for each individual life path number. So December 2022 is a universal 9 cycle. And I really do actually love this energy as we begin to sort of close out the year and prepare to step into a new frequency. The energy of the 9 allows us to reflect on the past year, to slow down a bit and recap. What do we feel worked for us? What do we want to maybe make adjustments to moving forward? Or now that we know what we know, would we do anything differently if given the chance? While understanding that sometimes we need to take the chance ourselves instead of waiting for it to be given. Also, is there anything that we want to sort of close out and leave behind, sort of shed as we step into the new energy of 2023? Any old belief systems, habits, grudges, and so on. This is a great time to leave those behind. This is actually a really beautiful and symbolic energy to shed that old skin, sort of like a snake, and leave it behind as we move much lighter and freer into a new chapter. So make time for self-reflection this month and honor what comes up for you without judgment, right? So if you feel strongly about something, move in that direction, follow it, right? See where it takes you. This can be a great month for getting organized and clearing out the clutter, body, mind, and spirit. And again, it's kind of like when you're going through old things, like, from your childhood or from your teen years or whatever, right? Or last year. And there's sentimental value to some of those things, right? Again, whether it's a belief, whether it's a person, whether it's a thing, whatever. There can be some attachment to those things, some sentimental value. And so it can be challenging to release it, to let it go. And so then we start to create clutter, right? We start to hold on to things that are no longer relevant, that don't really assist us in any way, that aren't aiding or adding to our journey. And so they just sort of take up space, body, mind, spirit, and they don't really need to be there any longer. And so those are the things that we sort of really need to take a look at and see, where can we release these things? Where can we move beyond them? And again, clear the space for something new to come in. And it can be a little challenging because we've got that, there's that nostalgia to it, that sentimental value. And so just have to find a way to honor it and release it and move forward. And this is a great time to do it during a 9 energy. This can be an incredibly active period for dreaming and imagination. So pay very close attention to your daydreams, to your night dreams, and see where they're taking you now. New plans, new ideas can come in through these dreams. And with such an extremely vivid imagination, this can be a beautifully creative period for turning those dreams into reality come 2023. Allow the ideas to germinate now. Write them down, play with them, be open to what comes in, no matter how big they are, no matter how outside the box they are. This is an energy to play with those, to follow them, to explore, to let your imagination run wild. This isn't necessarily the energy to begin implementing or to, begin creating whatever those big ideas are, but explore them. explore them. Allow your imagination to run wild, follow those dreams, write those dreams down. And, if you are telling yourself that you're not capable of doing something that you're dreaming about, deconstruct that. Why are you telling yourself that? What are the obstacles? How can you overcome those obstacles? Who do you need to reach out to who maybe has strengths in those areas that you have some limitations or some weaknesses? This is a great time to start that planning process, to explore. So use this month and the magic of this month in that way. And allow yourself to dream big, allow yourself to dream outside the box, and to start planning how you'll, achieve those big dreams. Pay attention to your thoughts this month. Where are they trying to take you? Can you explore further? Are there thoughts worth grabbing onto and doing something with? And are there thoughts that are keeping you sort of stuck, right? Because those thoughts that are keeping you stuck, right? Those thoughts that come in that are sort of holding you in one place. They're trying to show you where potentially there's some deeper work to be done, right? And so everything sort of serves a purpose, right? And so even those thoughts that were like, are more negative or again, kind of holding us back, there's something deeper there to be looked at. And so those thoughts coming in are highlighting those areas for us. So pay attention to them. You don't have to grab onto them. You don't have to, do anything with them other than, again, to kind of deconstruct them, to look at sort of the root cause of them, and sort of go from there. But pay attention to your thoughts this month, especially under a 9 energy. Your dreams, your daydreams, your thoughts, all these things can hold a lot of deeper meaning this month, more so than under other energies. So just pay attention. This month can feel sort of, like I said, very ethereal, more imagination, more ideas, more feelings floating about. Play in this lofty realm and explore, right? But also find ways to stay grounded and in your body. You need to be present to have the full experience that this 9 energy can bring this month. So your dreams and visions this month can serve as the guidepost for the future direction that you're meant to follow. But you have to stay present and grounded to sort of see them through, right? To start that process, to experience the human experience, right? With 9 energy, the channel to the unseen is wide open. So again, see what comes through for you and try to have fun with it, right? Again, take the pressure off, just kind of flow with it. By exploring something, you're not obligated to follow through with it, right? You're just seeing where it takes you and seeing if there's a connection and seeing if it feels right for you. If it doesn't, you release it. If it does, then continue to explore, right? So this is a beautiful energy for all of that. So again, give yourself the permission to dream big, to play in the world of imagination, because that's where it all begins when it comes to creation and creating the life of your dreams. And what a perfect time to be exploring as we sit at the cusp of a new year and a new energetic vibration for 2023. So this month, the energy of the 9 sort of invites us to stay present while considering changes. Okay, before we get into the individual life path numbers, I want to wish you all a very happy holiday season and a very joyous new year. All right, let's take a look at the individual life path numbers now. Life path 22-4. Well, I don't know what you all have been up to this year, but I pulled an animal spirit message for you and you got Phoenix. So there is definitely something coming in for the month of December that is Phoenix rising energy. So we've got renewal, alchemical changes, a reemergence of sorts. And so again, this is rising from the ashes, right? This is, death, transformation, and rebirth. The highest symbolism of that. And so there may be something where, again, you've sort of been through the trenches. You've really been sort of facing the music, and been down in the rubble, and this is your opportunity to rise from that, to reemerge, to just show up in a different way, in a way that's more authentic and that's more uniquely you, and incorporating and integrating those, what you learned, that wisdom that you extracted from those experiences, from those obstacles, from overcoming whatever it is that you've overcome. That's the thing with people who have strong influences of master level energy. So 11, 22, 33, 44, etc. And people who have some of the karmic energies, like 13-4, for instance, right? So there are several phoenix rising from the ashes moments in this journey of life, with any energy really, but really for people with master level energy. So I'm not surprised to see this for 22-4s. I love to see it though, because I think it's like I said, it's some kind of success or triumph from difficulty, and rising anew and stepping into a more authentic, more like a stronger version of yourself. And so this is incredibly beautiful. So whatever this is, wear your feathers proudly, because you've earned them. So beautiful energy stepping into December, but also getting ready to step into 2023. So it's like you're using this Phoenix energy, reemerging, or again, like sort of integrating back into a situation with newfound wisdom and a greater sense of self and all of those things, right? So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so for the month of December, of course, you will be working with the 9 energy that we are all working with collectively, but 22s are also working with the energy of the 4. Now, 4 is your life path number, right? The 22 is influencing energies to that 4. It's sort of like an added energy that you're working with or meant to step into or trying to step into in this lifetime, right? But 4 is your true life path number. With any master number, the sort of core energy, the root number is your life path number. So with the 4 energy, this is going to feel familiar for you in a sense. It's going to be things that, of course, you've probably worked with throughout your journey to date, right? So with December holding 4 energy for you, this can kind of be a checkpoint energy. This can be an opportunity to check in on your progress, check to see, are you skipping steps? Are you being true to your word, true to whatever it is that you're trying to build? Or are you trying to rush through things for that instant gratification? Because, you probably know by now, 4 energy does not bring instant gratification. We have to work for what we get, and we have to make sure that it's done right? Like in a methodical way. So 4 energy showing up for you all in December, like I said, could be a checkpoint just to make sure that you go back and you kind of just check the foundations, check the oil, do what you need to do to make sure that moving into 2023, all systems are go, and there isn't anything that needs modification or, major modification. Or are there things, again, that need to sort of be released or removed or modified before moving into January, into that new energy? 4 energy can also bring about situations with family, friends, in the work environment, whatever, that tests your patience. And so again, one of the core signatures of 4 energy is teaching us how to incorporate patience in our journey. It's a big one. And so you could find that there are things that test your patience this month that you need to sort of breathe through and, find your own ways to be able to step into that, to lean into that, right? So you're not becoming anxious or frustrated or agitated because things aren't going as quickly or as smoothly or as you want, right? So with patience comes releasing and surrendering control in a lot of situations, which can be very challenging for people with 4 energy. So you may see things come to the surface this month that are asking you to do that. Some other things that may surface for 22s this month could be things around the home. That includes the body, like the physical body, right? Including body, mind, spirit. That also includes the actual physical structure of a home, right? Like where you live. There could be things that surface that need your attention at this time, so pay attention to that. This could also be a call for you to step outside of the box, to think outside of the box, to, again, sort of be open to playing in your imagination, right? We talked about that in the intro with this 9 energy that we're all working with collectively, that dreams can be very vivid. The imagination can be running wild this month, but we have to entertain it, right? Like it can try, but if we're too rigid, if we're too structured, if we're too set in our ways, the imagination will try to run wild, but we can cap it off, right? And so I think with 4 energy showing up for 22s, it's this reminder that, we can sometimes be too rigid, too structured, too organized type thing, if there's such a thing. But to not sort of disregard the calling of your imagination, right? Your spirit speaking to you through that imagination and through your dreams and through that creative process. Because when we become too rigid, we constrict the creative process and we lose out. We minimize the potential of what we can create and what we can build. And so that can come to the forefront this month as well to be looked at. Again, I think of temperance energy sometimes when I see 4 energy, because again, it's it just reminds me of really like a checkpoint, just making sure that all systems are go, that we're functioning the way we want to be functioning, that we feel solid, that we're not being too rigid, that we're finding our balance, all of those things. So that could very much show up this month for you all. Now, as we move into the month of December, on the 7th or 8th, depending on where you live in the world, we have a full moon. This full moon will bring in for you 22s the energy and illumination of the 11 and the 3. So this is very, very creative energy. This is very much focusing on your passions, on what ignites your spirit, on what calls to you, what is it that's, maybe you're focusing on something out of obligation or that you're the expert at or whatever, but you don't enjoy it. This full moon can really be pushing you to find ways to incorporate in a very realistic, practical way, those things that do inspire you, that really speak to your soul, that are in purpose. So with the combination of the 11 and the 3 being very creative energy, it is the energy of creation. And so there may be something that comes to your awareness at this time that is enticing you to, again, follow your inspiration, create from that space of, inspiration, right? We got the energy of the 11. So, and a lot of times, if we look at the master numbers, right? We have 11, 22, 33. The 11 often will bring the inspiration, and the 22 will take that inspiration and build from it, right? Create something from it, something tangible. 11 energy is more the feeling, it's more ethereal, but the 22 is meant to build something tangible and practical from that more ethereal energy, that inspiration. And so with the combination at this full moon of the 11 and 3, it's very possible that something will ignite that inspiration in you, whether it's someone saying something, someone bringing you something to work on that really aligns with whatever you want to do. So be very open to that, because it could be outside the box type thing, right? So beautiful energy around this full moon for you all. But again, it's what we do with it. And that could also, with it being master level energy and 11 energy, it could bring some tests or challenges around some creative project for you. But it being a full moon, it could bring those challenges to a close, and you could be tying up those loose ends and getting rid of, and finishing that up and moving it off your plate type thing. And then getting ready to start something new is always possible as well. But with it being the 11 and the 3, think inspiration, think creativity, creation, social collaboration. Definitely collaboration could come in around this full moon, working with others, being open to their ideas, and then implementing in some way, and coming up with solutions, that sort of thing, is very, very possible. And networking could also be very possible as well. The new moon that we have this month is occurring on the 23rd of December at the end of the month. This energy is bringing in for you all a sort of a second helping or a double dose of the 9 energy. And so again, we already have this collectively in December, so you'll already be working with this energy, but then you all will have, like I said, kind of a double dose of it, a double hit of it on the new moon at the 23rd. So again, I think this is really going to be, because you're working with the energy of the 11 and the 3 this month, as well as the 9. There's a lot here about, again, inspiration, ideas, opening up to the unseen, being more flexible and adaptable to not always having the answers or not always knowing the exact direction or the exact measurements or the exact details of whatever it is that you're creating or whatever, but going with the flow and figuring it out as you go, right? So there is, again, some level of surrender and releasing control, which can be very frustrating for anybody with 4 energy. So the 9, though, is asking you to play in that imagination, right? Like to release whatever it is that is taking your inspiration away and entertain those new, big, fresh ideas and follow those big dreams. So again, it's more ethereal, it's more feeling, it's more, it's more humanitarian as well. And so there again comes this energy of collaboration, working with others, taking the greater community into consideration. All of those things could be coming in for you all this month. And so if you're able to do that, and you are of course able to do that, but if you choose to do that, and choose to explore and entertain those sides of yourself and work with others in this way, you have the potential to really create something really beautiful, or at least start that wheel in motion, right? And just really explore new territory, right? Which could open up a lot of doors for you as you move into 2023. It's very, very possible, especially through the networking piece and having the conversations, and all of those things are very possible. Also, this is a time around this new moon to potentially, just be more involved in your community if you choose to do so, whether that's volunteering, sharing your resources in some way, whatever kind of comes in for you, to be more charitable, if that's something that speaks to you. Around this new moon, you may have some ideas on how to do that feel aligned for you. And so definitely that is supported during this new moon, of course, anytime, but very much so at this new moon. And so you may see some opportunities, or again, some ideas come in for you around that. So I would also say there may be some things, I think I said this, but just to make sure I did, around the new moon, there may be some things, like I said, you kind of need to close out, tie up those loose ends, finish up type thing. But it's kind of like, it's not necessarily like things falling away or whatever. It's things that you've been working on that you're tying up you're finishing those projects, right? Which this is beautiful timing for that, and kind of makes it nice and neat as you end 2022 to step into 2023 to embark on your next adventure as the Phoenix. So with that, I will wish you a happy holiday season and a beautiful new year. And I will see you 22s in 2023. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.